The man, the myth, the legend, James Jones.
No, latch.
I remember it that way.
Yes.
So, James, how did you get into real estate?
So back in 2003, infomercial called Carlton Sheets. So
Okay.
back at late at night, you could watch these things, but you reach quick. Back then it was called flipping paper.
Okay.
Now it's called wholesaling. So bought the thing, came with the VHS. Back then it was a cool way to watch stuff, and got the contracts and whatnot, and went looking at tax properties and properties that are pre-foreclosure, and started knocking on doors. And the first assignment I ever sold was to a guy named Kent Colbier. His dad was in his company here too, and I was out there in California to some nice mentoring shifts. So I sold him the deal, made like 14 grand, and then that $9 drop made no sense. I said bye bye.
Okay. So you were wholesaling back then when no one.
It wasn't really called wholesaling. It was like Carlton Sheets, like flipping contracts or just finding distressed properties. So it's totally different, and like it is these days. Like there's everybody teaching it, learning it. So
At one point, you had a huge portfolio, right? Like, what? When did you? Because you went into the recession, the 2009 recession. Did you go through it with properties? Were you just flipping paper back then?
I had properties. There's a bank in Memphis called Union Planners, a great bank, amazing bank. So back then we didn't have the SCR loans. We had Ninja loans were starting up, but before then we didn't have those. You only have like 10 assets. You 10 loans in your personal name. So being creative, a creative guy I am, I'll just clear my credit, get those loans up, and get some more loans. And the banker was cool with it, so I kept on getting more and more loans. Everything was paid. But then when Regions came in and bought them out and whatnot, they didn't like that. And there's a deal on sell clause, so if you don't do right, they want you to get some stuff back. So
Oh no, I see.
it broke my heart.
I see. Since then, you acquired quite the portfolio. What are you doing these days? What are you focusing on?
Yeah, I'm only sectioning the BRRRR, so now we have a DSCR loan, which is doing good. I think they're now kind of ninja loans. I don't know how long it will last because now their requirements are getting less. You got guys that have 500 credit score and get one now, which is kind of horrible.
Well,
So they first came out, you had a 700 class, and the rent had to cover it, and it was a lot more, a better product, I think. But that allowed me to get a lot of properties fast through the BRRRR. You can make 40, 50,000, $20,000 on properties, and you pay the rents, and you have a kind of a limited, a limited.
you have to personally guarantee those loans or not?
Yes and no.
Okay.
So everything you have to personal guarantee, but is an LLC. So if someone does go south, they're still on the hand for it. So a lot of people are like, hey, these are not personal guarantee, but they are. And then with the hard money lenders too, a lot of times those guys will personal guarantee. So you got to make sure you're always going to the right path and making sure you're trying to do the right thing.
So how do you mitigate that risk? I'm assuming I believe you have hundreds of properties there. So how do you do you keep cash reserves for worst case scenarios, or like how are you prepared for? I mean, Section 8 is a good way to hedge for all that, but how are you prepared for adverse scenarios?
Well, Section 8 pays late a lot. So you think it's a good thing, but they pay like the 10th, 11th, 12th. So typically in some LLCs, they would keep like 100 grand in there just to cover the mortgages, because the mortgages might be due like on the 5th or the 10th on the grace period. So you have to keep using like 100, 150,000, some accounts to cover your mortgages. And then Section 8 will finally, catch you back up. But to be safe, we like to keep like 2 months reserves. So if your mortgage payment's like, $1,200, $2,400, and on top of it, if you have, 10 properties, you want at least 24,000 just sitting there for a rainy day, because, these happen.
Gotcha. Now let me ask you this. I've always been curious. Property management is really difficult for us, but you do a great job of it. And you're renovating all these properties. You're managing these tenants. Like, what's your strategy there? Do you self do it? Do you offer it to others? What are you doing there?
Yeah, don't offer to no one else. Everything is done in-house by us on our own properties. We do a lot different. In the last like 6 months, we've gotten really heavy on like AI. So now like our leasing, our maintenance, everything is done by AI. So it's kind of cool. I can call in and act emotional, say my house is burning down, and the AI agent will walk them through how to fix it. So I like to cut cost a lot. We do quarterly inspections every 3 months, make sure the property is good. Probably about 90% of our tenant base is government assistance. So if they mess something up and they have a balance on their ledger, they're not able to move out. So turns are a lot less. And then a lot of our properties, unfortunately, like prisons, they're black on the outside, black on the walls, like super dark, but it's easier because it's all about turning those properties. All those nice colors, unfortunately, they get ruined. So I just try to always maximize it, get the cost down.
I think that's one thing I've always noticed, that you have, good systems for avoiding repeatable problems. Like I think with HVACs, you have a certain system of controlling temperatures and making sure that they're.
Yeah, the thermostats, yeah, which is really good. Yeah, changing the filters, like I've been on this a picture on the 30-day mark. They have 5 days, and that will go out there, be able to master key where you want to proper or change their filter. They're paying us 125. So you have to just teach your tenants how to be good tenants.
I see this. Um, so is that, do you have a whole team set up for property management? Are you leading that? Do you have somebody else? Like, how do you do it? Because that's with that many tenants, that's a lot of work.
What's all about having like a SOP, a really good one, right? So the whole SOP controls everything. So we have one girl now, it's a full-time girl. She's now in Mexico working remotely because it's easy to do. We have 3-time VAs. One person specializes in maintenance, one person who specializes in leasing, and one's like debt collections and dealing with MHA and all those kind of headaches. And they're able to run 500 properties with no issues. A lot of stuff is just systematic with the AI bot, taking the inbound maintenance orders, fills it, making assign the work order. So it makes the whole process more streamlined.
Very cool. I mean, just on a brief call, maybe like a year or two back, I got a lot of good tips on, how to be more efficient, and just the WhatsApp strategy that you told me. I mean, that's been a game changer for us. Even if we try to operate very above board, but lawsuits still happen. And so the WhatsApp thing has been so transformational, being transparent, this and that. I think no matter what someone is doing in real estate, they can learn a lot from you. Do you offer coaching, or what are you doing on that side? Because I see a lot of your reels that are very entertaining, but there's a lot of smart tactics and strategies that you're executing.
Yeah, like I said, I charge a lot of different things. As you know, we met back when you're doing wholesaling. So I've done wholesaling over the years. Factory and Throw, I have one of the largest wholesaling companies in the country in multiple areas. I coach on like the BRRRR strategy, Section 8. So being in real estate since 2003, I've done everything and learned so many different mistakes, like how not to get sued by the Federal Trade Commission, how to go in front of them for English voicemail stuff. I've been through so much jazz and so much issues, and not learn not use crackheads. These crackheads do really good work. Unfortunately, sometimes they get arrested and they won't crack. So
I remember that one guy that you put on one of my properties who let a puppy die, and man, that broke my
yeah, Josh Brooks, great guy. Yeah, but now he's rebuilding it. He's doing great. He has like several properties. So a lot of times these people need multiple chances. But the price was amazing. And as you know, brown people love the best prices.
No, I'm getting past that.
You get past it?
I'm getting past it.
Well, that's good.
I just want dependability.
Yeah.
That's all. So, what made you like focus on Section 8? Did you have like a rental where people weren't paying? Like, what made you, is at some point, like, I think you just exclusively focused on it and ran it.
Yeah, during COVID. So back then I had a bunch of like regular retail tenants like you did yourself. And then people just stopped paying. There's a moratorium. You can't get these back sticks. I was, what the fuck? Like, are you showing me? I was like, I don't like this. So I went to single key and also Section 8. So now most of my tenants, I had a single key policy that treats that tenant like Section 8. So if something goes wrong, they don't pay. I still can file a claim. I can get rent loss. I can get damages. So sometimes I get $15,000, $20,000 checks because the tenant destroys the property.
How are you, people need to pay for the membership to learn about that.
Yeah, most of it. It's just a way to, it makes you, because you want your property to be like self-destructible, right? So if I do have to evict someone, it's great because I don't care. I get paid, and I don't care if the eviction takes longer because I'm prolonging it because I still get paid because I have up to 12 months of rent loss, including that policy, which is nice. They call
you buying a rental policy, though.
And I do a lot of second chance program. So it's pretty much you're on Section 8, you're on second chance. So you have to pick an insurance with my properties. It's like $68 a month, and it just covers the actual tenant.
There's a lot of people that you've actually helped, that are, I've witnessed it myself, and you're putting them to good work and be productive, and that's really, one of the positive things that I've seen you do. What about, you're a very creative guy. Does it get you in trouble in different things, or are you very process and up to the legal standards, or how do you operate? Because there's a lot of tricky situations that come up.
Yeah, there's like the red area and there's the gray area. And the red area, I will not cross that line. The gray area, baby, I swim in the gray area.
It's cool.
It's green, yes.
Yeah, I think you have one of the most creative, strategic minds and the ability to execute. And how do you stay positive? Because when I'm dealing with negative losses or whatever, it gets me down. But like I see you just continue hammering.
Bosses can take losses. Like who cares? Like you can't change it. A house burns down. Who cares? I have insurance. If someone sued me because they fell, I don't give a shit. I have insurance. Like at the end of the day, like who cares? It's already happening. Why let it bother you?
Right.
You can't do nothing about it.
I've seen you like dealing with so many construction issues and taking a nap while you were in the car, just like nothing happened. It was inspiring to me. So
You gotta relax sometimes.
I get that. That's a level of that I try to inspire to.
Well, that's what a lot of people I think get stuck. Then they get to a level where it's too much pressure and they can't push by it. But like I said, you always just keep pushing.
I love it. What specifically, like, can you tell me about your experience with hard money? Because obviously, there's when you're buying that many the properties to take down the asset before you get the DSCR in place, you're probably having to do some stopgap there. What's your experience there? How you manage hard money? Because a lot of people do it and lose on it, and then there's a lot of people like you that win on it.
Yeah, so a lot of the lenders I use locally, most of them will do the points inside the loan and also in the payments. So a lot of times I get no points, no payments, no closing costs. They'll do the whole entire thing for me.
Wow.
Fit in so much times that it's super smooth, super possible, and they just love it because I turn it usually 45 to 60 days. They're making almost 20%, 25% a year off for me. They have no problem doing it because it's a speed to lead type of thing. Other lenders might charge like 5 points down, 1% for a month, but it's the cost of doing business. So at the end of the day, if the deal works, you back the money out. Money has a cost to it. I rather use someone local and on the market and pay 5% versus going like to Kabi and getting the lowest rate because it's actually support my community.
That's awesome. And you specifically do a lot of business with Corland as well. Is that right?
Yeah, Cortland, like I said, Dan Butler, 98 Capital, Avalon, Craig James, Rebecca. I mean, but there's so many different lenders out there, private lenders too. It's just,
You've got diversified strategy.
Yeah, I try to be best. Like most lenders don't want to have all the business at once. So usually I have like, $3 million this lender, $2 million here. Some guys get antsy, like the market's crashed. And like, oh, hey, listen, you're stressed out. Look over here now. Like the Asians, they're great. Their money's fine. Or this guy over here. So it's just different. So I just pivot wherever the money goes. Everybody's, different.
Yeah, and that's what I've learned as well is different cycles, different people appetites change. So you rest out with diversified.
Yeah, during the election, sometimes people just drive. They'll stop lending. Or like, who gives a shit? Like, it's gonna happen. Like,
right.
Keep lending the money.
One thing that to switch gears, one thing I've seen you do over the years is bring a fresh crop of students. And there have been several people that I've that were part of your teams that are now very, very successful, and they hopefully helped you along your journey as well. And now they're very successful. Can you kind of tell me how that works, or like, do you take them on as partners? Are you looking for your next class? What do you? How does that work?
Yeah, always looking. So the main game used to be it was called like a partnership program.
Okay.
Like Lex, for example, one of my great guys, amazing guy. I took him in. Before that, he was doing small assignments, 1,500, 1,700, one for 10,000 over 2 years. Taught him how to run a business. We were together probably 6 to 8 months, made a couple $100,000. Was great. Like I remember one day he did 35,000 on an assignment, we'll slept to shit. And I was like, listen, at the end of the day, like you were taught one thing, but at the end of the day, like just because you get a really good deal, there's buyers to do it. I used to wholesale you deals and make like 20, 30,000 and you would get upset, but then you could deal with
I'm not upset. That's not true. I paid a 100K assignment this year.
I know. It's frustrating, I guess you say, because I'm pretty good.
No, when we win together. There's no, you can't win alone.
Correct.
That's one thing I've realized. Like,
and that's why I like partners, because like I said, that you help someone out get their goals, you get what you want.
That's right.
But everything has a lifespan. Like some people get upset because once I'm in there, the business is set up. They get upset like, hey, why am I stuck to you this guy 50% the rest of my life? So it's best just to have a 6 month, 12-month term, 20-month. You go in there, you help run the business, you fix it, then you guys can go your different ways.
Now, some of your partners have actually stuck long term.
Correct.
Anthony is, I've seen him, videos of him with you for many years. How's that going? Is he, what are you guys doing together? Is like all the section and stuff you're doing? Not that I'm trying to get into.
No, it's good. Yeah, yeah, me and Anthony agree. We have like over 250-ish stores together, so it's great. He's one of the integrator. I'm more like the big picture guy, like the visionary. He takes stuff and just breaks it down, makes it more systematic. Like for example, like Slack can be with the WhatsApps. He's better with processes and stuff. I kind of tell him the idea on a whiteboard, then he goes and makes it happen. Like Monday we use or Podio or Buildium or systems, and it's really good. So right now he's living up in house in Nashville. We're doing stuff there, New Hills, business there. Fortunately, good. Flipper. Market right now, it's not hard. A lot of guys I knew you do lost their asses, but they kept on flipping. So when the market gets, cold here, it flips. We just go to Nashville somewhere else where you still make, good money, make $100,000 on a flip.
Very cool. Now, let me ask you this. A lot of code enforcements are typing up all across the nation. How are you dealing with that one? Are you doing fully permanent rehabs, or are you
Never.
doing minor? Okay.
Never. I'm a Republican, okay?
I see. I see.
Yeah.
I got you.
And I still work at legal, so listen, they love me, I love them. It's great.
I see. I see.
Yeah.
So you're making that work. I mean, you provide a great product.
Yeah, so everything we do, everything in the code, but we pull these permits, it just slows the whole process down.
Right.
So a product that they can do in like 20 days will take 4 months. That means that investor, that student, is now losing another $6,000 in holding costs for nothing. Because they get their shit together. Like it's crazy.
Right. I see. That makes sense. And what are you looking? Are you looking for more deals? Are you buying heavily right now?
No, most definitely always buying.
What are you buying? Are you buying Section 8, more Section 8 properties?
Any property would be Section 8 doesn't make a difference. So we just picked up a few where we found in Carterville. But mainly like I like the inner city, like areas you hate. Like I love Orange Mound.
I don't hate.
You like Orange Mound now?
Listen, no, that's it's not that I hate it. It's just, my risk appetite.
Yeah. You like more like Cordova, which is good, Mississippi, which is great rentals. But I like the hood stuff because I'm able to pull out cash and make like $500-$600 a month of passive income. And it's just great because it enables to multiply a lot easier.
Very cool. Are you expanding into other markets? Or are you solely?
Yeah, well, there's some markets we do now, like Birmingham, Ohio. But the problem is I'm not there pushing the needle. Like you're guys, like if someone's out there pushing it, like it's crazy. Like stuff in Ohio takes 4 or 5 months to do when it should take less than 3 weeks, and then I have to go there and have small kids now. So mainly just focus in Memphis. And anytime we buy stuff, we usually buy like small portfolios, like 10, 15 years at a time.
Where that okay for you? A little different.
And I just do innovation. I'll lock it up and then have an apartment in the middle where I'm able to get the deal for $0 and pick up 12, 15 units.
Very cool. Where do you see investors failing when they're dealing with Section 8? Because there's a lot of people that, obviously are selling their properties that you're buying on the buy side, where you can make a great deal out of it, where people are not getting out. Where do you think most people need to improve on? What general tips would you have for big?
Just like you self-manage. That's the key. Like management companies out there, but they're just horrible.
Except for what?
No, every management is horrible, regardless. It is what it is. This is the truth.
Nice.
Because they all have different issues. Like Cortland might be great at maintenance and great at doing rehab work, but then it takes a little bit longer to get a tenant because why? It's just hard to find tenants. So we get creative. So we're posting in Facebook groups. We do the marketplace. We reach out to different management companies. We have different resources like MIFA. So it's more like a band and sign campaign. So even though we do all the stuff for normal management, we do you list it, you put a sign in it. Over 90% of our tenants all come from outsource. Like we're doing referrals or stuff like that. Like last the blood we filled like 14 units by paying a $250 referral fee just to someone that needs a part-time job. So these people are literally like cheerleaders, and it's like annoying, but they're constantly just sending leads to you, and it's about just having other people doing the work for you.
That's awesome. Are you using anyone specific that does a great job in finding Section 8 tenants? Like, do you want to shout anyone out, or I don't know?
Lisa Angels is really good. My dad over there, I use Amisha. She's really good.
Okay.
And that usually charges like $500 to $1,000. Amisha's like $1,250, but it's about having that tenant. Like as soon as my property's done, I want a tenant in there. I don't want to wait 4 or 5 months to get it filled. Like that seems like a horrible nightmare. So a lot of times we have to push the inspections because they already got a tenant ready to go. We're ready to rent it out, and we're just having to, if the work's not done, we haven't got that final inspection or that occupancy permit yet, or whatever's hold it up. We have to push the permit a week or whatever, but it's always just have the tenant ready just to float in there.
So how are you doing? How are you pushing the inspections? If you want to
I just call it call the inspector. Hey, what's up? I need to push 2 weeks or push a week just if we're not ready. Usually we're ready about 90% of the time, but sometimes it's just issues. And with Section 8 with the government, you want to make sure all the permits are done, everything is fine, get that final CO, and it's just a better way to do it.
Yeah, that's one thing I've noticed is I think your creativity and not just the I wouldn't call it the laziest approach to it, but you have a very active, creative approach to whether that's renovating, whether that's placing tenants. You're not a passive person when it comes to any of this.
No.
That's why you're able to create elite results.
Yeah, you got to be you got to be super involved, even sorts of products. So recently I was able to get a whole truckload of cabinets from Vietnam. I could have these guys build this cabinet, and then I'm getting a nice, industrial, beautiful, soft close cabinet for $31. Versus doing a Home Depot, and I'm having to spend $150 for a press for cabinet. So I constantly just try to make the process better, get better deals on tile. Home Depot, you can send any large order to the bedroom to save money. yeah, I should always make sure I'm getting the cost down. Always to do that, you have to be active. You can't be passive.
That's right. That's something I need to do all as well. That's great. I mean, like I said, I think no matter who someone is and what they're doing, they can, I look up to your strategic expertise. I think you're one of the best short-term strategists in the game, and I'm glad you're renovating all these houses in Memphis. I think that's a great addition. 3 at 106 is alive and popping a lot, due to the James Jones effect.
Yeah, no one wanted to go out there, but now it's actually it's got new builds going out there. It's crazy, like new brand new construction. So
Yeah.
it's good to see that.
That's right. That's right.
You never will be the first one. I don't mind being the first one. Why? Because most of these units, like a 106, I got them for 15, 14, 13. And I'm able to refi them years later for like 205, and I'm able to pull out more cash. And I try to refi every 5 years.
Like, are you doing any like? Are you gonna get any long-term like HUD money or any of that, or is this all?
That's awesome. I mean, a lot of people do that, but I don't. It's a waste of time, like grants, all that kind of jazz. It sounds like a full time job, and I like to have fun.
That's right. That's right. All right, man. That's all I got. I think that I always learn something whenever I talk to you. So it's been a pleasure to have you.
Most definitely appreciate it.